Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right into this thing. All right, yeah, we got to talk about this. Georgia Bulldogs, they're just spoiled rotten. Their fan base, oh my gosh.
Don't care how, I want it now.
And we did have a 5-star return to Tennessee. Mike Mathews is going to talk about that. But first, let's get into this game with Notre Dame. And Georgia's expectations and their fan base is unbelievable. I want the Georgia folks to come in here for just a second.
You lost your starting quarterback. You're not going to win the national title when that happens.
How do you not understand that? Any other team would understand that. Not Georgia. Oh, well, we lost our starting quarterback. We'll be fine. And, of course, they won the SEC in the second half with a backup quarterback. So, of course, they think that. Why wouldn't they? They think they should win every game, every time, no matter what.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It doesn't work that way. Any team that loses their starting quarterback is not going to win the Natty. It's not going to happen. Jeez, these people. And all us folks in the SEC, we've been dealing with it for the last few years. We go into a game against Georgia this year. They'd already lost 2 games, which is, look, they were in shambles after that. They had lost 2 ball games on the road, and you'd have thought the world had ended. And Carson Beck's the worst quarterback in the world all of a sudden, when he's not. He's actually really, really good. A lot of teams lose on the road, Georgia. I know you're not aware of this. You went 3 years without losing a regular season game, so of course you don't understand that. But it happens all the time. So before we played them this year, it was a big game. Georgia had come off those 2 losses. They were all distraught. And here's how confident they were going into the ball game.
Let me get out ahead of it. Tennessee is fraudulent. They're overrated. Georgia's going to beat them on Saturday. Period. End of discussion. Georgia's going to beat Tennessee on Saturday. Take it to the bank.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, I had that clip ready to go. I was going to have a lot of fun with that. And we go up 10-0 down there in Athens. Nobody's beaten them down there in 5 years. 5 years. But normally if somebody comes out and makes a declaration like that, they always have to eat their words. Not Georgia. Oh, no. They get to win. They come back and beat us bad in the second half. And who did it for them? Carson Beck. You know, the guy they can't stand? Yeah. He's not that bad, people. Anyway, they go into this ball game against Notre Dame with a backup quarterback. That's not a good situation. Notre Dame's good this year. They have spent the bucks. Yeah, right here. Notre Dame spent $20.5 million on their football team this year, folks. 20. That's more than Georgia has spent. Guess what that means? They got talent now. They're, you know, how they've never had talent to the level of Georgia's. Because Brian Kelly, you know, look, he did pretty good up there, but.
And we're sitting here again. Talking about the same things.
You're not going to match Georgia's talent. Well, when you got $20 million, you can. So Georgia had to play a team that could match up with them without their starting QB. And Notre Dame's quarterback ran all over them because that's what he's good at. So, of course, they're distraught. They lost the ball game. And they're completely overreacting because that's what you do. They just literally expect to win every ball game no matter what happens.
Welcome back, Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Glad you are here. He is Daniel. I am Clint. Today's episode brought to you by Misery.
We're just pretending to be sad for the drama and the entertainment value, and we just dance around up here for you guys.
This sucks. This is awful. We're going to talk about how much it sucks. Notre Dame fan, you're not here because you don't know sports and you don't know football and you don't know anything.
You didn't even know we existed.
You didn't know we existed and that playoffs were a thing that you could win in. So you're not here. And we're just talking to Georgia fans.
And that's exactly how they feel. Don't get it twisted. They're being a little bit sarcastic, but I promise you that's how they feel.
I'm disappointed. I'm mad that we lost the game. I am so glad this season is over. I am tired. I'm just tired of watching this Georgia football team.
Against not starting hot in games, not coming prepared, and not busting out of the gates early and often to put a team away every single
How could you
game.
not be tired, Georgia fan?
They won the SEC. They won the SEC without their quarterback in the final game against Texas. And Texas is good. So this is Georgia. You need to know how they think.
I need to say this again for all of you in the back. I like winning more than I like anything else.
Sure.
Beauty pageants don't mean nothing to me.
No.
I don't care. I like winning football games, winning playoff games, and then winning championships, which we were doing at a boring rate with boring teams and bludgeoning people all the way through for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that right. Boring championships. Gosh. This is, what was that girl's name in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Bianca or something? Yeah, it's this level. It's this level of spoiled. Think how many teams out there in the SEC would love to win some boring championships. I can think of one.
I wonder who that can be.
Good grief, these people. They're worse than Alabama. Alabama used to be this bad, but they've kind of come down a notch or two. Georgia's still way up here with their nose up in the air, and the rest of us are just taking up good air. Good grief. You lost your starting quarterback. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you all that because it's just, that's how they think. Man, I wish we would beat them this year. Oh, I'd have played that clip over and over. But I can't. I feel like Nick Roush, but I can't rant as well as Nick Roush. If I could, oh boy.
Can we just beat this team? I know that Mark Stoops has done a lot of good things. This is his one really bad thing. The stupid stat about beating teams with a winning record and taking the next step and blah, blah. Just freaking beat Tennessee. Please, can we just stop losing to this stupid team with their stupid orange colors, their stupid song, and their woo, woo, get their woo on out of here.
Yeah, nobody rants like Nick. Their stupid red team and their stupid bulldog and their blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let's talk about Mike Mathews. All right, as you know, Tennessee has had many wide receivers leave this year. I mean, just about every one of them. But as you look today on GoVols 247, you don't see Mike Mathews on here anymore. Squirrel White's still in there, and he's visiting FSU, I believe. But Mathews has been taken off this list, which is really good. The only people we'd have had Mathews left would have been Braylon Staley, and then the Brazel kid, and then some freshmen. So keeping Mike Mathews was big for Tennessee. Now, they're not done. Look, we lost 5 wide receivers. So we're going to have to pick up a couple of guys just to have some bodies. Hopefully they go out and they get some really good players. And I wouldn't try to replace all 5 or all whatever. I'd get a couple of guys that are really, really good, pay them some money, and you won't have a bunch of guys on the bench mad all the time. We really had too many wide receivers in 2024 because you can't have guys develop over time and then play as a sophomore, junior, or senior. No, they've got to play as either a redshirt freshman or they're gone. That's about as far as you're allowed to go with them. Freshmen, they want to play, but they'll kind of be understanding a little bit unless they're a 5-star. Redshirt freshmen, you better be playing them or they're gone. That's just how it is. You can't develop guys anymore. So you might as well have less wide receivers, get the very best ones you can with the money you got, and play them. And you need a few extras for injury's sake, but other than that, you cannot build up a big wide receiver room. And they're just going to complain and moan, and they're going to get mad at the coach, which is Kelsey Pope, because they're not playing them. And I've told you, as a Division I former player myself, when you're sitting on the bench, you're mad. You're ticked off. And you're going to blame everybody but yourself because you were the best thing out of high school. You were the best thing in the state or whatever, in your county. Doesn't matter when you come to a big-time school. I am living proof of that.
It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
I thought I'd go to UT and I'd be, one of the best players. This was in golf. We had All-Americans. We had All-SEC guys. We had a guy that played in the Masters as an amateur. I mean, we had tremendous golfers. And I waltzed in there and they're like, you're okay, but you're not that great. And reality hit me.
I am reality.
So anyway, that is really the way football's going. And Georgia's in the same boat. The reason they're not totally dominating is that a lot of their best players that are young aren't staying at Georgia because they don't want to sit on the bench. They want to go get their Benjamins and play. And so when somebody gets injured or whatever, they're not sitting there with a 5-star waiting to go. They may have to live with just a 4-star, which is really hard for Georgia. It's not easy being a Georgia fan. It's not easy. Sometimes you don't win every single ball game. I don't know how they tolerate it. Anyway, I thought I would cover all this stuff. Mathews coming back's great for Tennessee. That's really good. We still need more help, but we've been talking about this for a week or two. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm glad Mathews is back in the fold. Let's get to developing him because he could be great. If you like this content, be sure to hit that like. Well, I know the Georgia fans aren't going to like it, but look, you needed to hear this. You need some reality. You're not supposed to win every ball game.
Hello?
Right over here is the subscribe button. If you want reality, hit that little button right there. Help you get my videos. And right over here's the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy, based on the algorithm. And I'm always battling the algorithm. Man, I'm in a mood today. Georgia, God, they thought they were going to win that game, no problem. Got to be kidding me. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J. Bulldogs.